Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Aurogiri Pro Tips, episode 50! Woo! Alright, so that's awesome. 50 pro tips. To think I could make a video series of 50 things to say. That's amazing. You know, 50 is a big number. It's like half 100, 5 times 10. Pretty cool. So today's episode is about this thing I'm holding here, the Blue Moon Blade. So for those who were part of the update with the Blue Moon Blade, which would be, I think, not Lunar Tail Part 1, but Lunar Tail Part 2, where Sasuke and Lunastasia were implemented, if you just talk to Lunastasia, you would receive a Blue Moon Blade. And the Blue Moon Blade is a level 1 weapon. So let's pull it up. Go to my equip screen since I'm equipped with it. So I have one. Blue Moon Blade comes with Tsubamegashi 6, Icicle Massacre 5, Blazing Swing 5, and an Ogi Blistering Ice Wave 5. So it has 15 slice, gives you 10% HP. If your power is 10 or more, you gain 150 attack. If your power is 25 or more, you gain 400 attack. And then 700 attack. And then 1200 attack. And then 2000 attack. And then, if your Vite is high, you gain 75. And then the same numbers over and over and over. And then it applies for power, Vit, and Dex. So you can get a huge... Like, I have 11,000 attack with this weapon equipped. That's pretty high. You know, all things considered, like, I don't have as much power as I should. But if I had 100 power, 100 Vit, and 100 Dex, I'd have a terrible build, but I'd have a lot of attack power. So that's what we're getting at here. So the Blue Moon Blade is a very powerful weapon. You know, if you got this at the beginning of the game and statted your points according to the Blue Moon Blade specifics, you could totally overpower up to Satan. And then if you did your bargains right and you got yourself some like 50 yoke mags and then some dusk mags, then yeah, you'd be great. You'd have, you know, Blue Moon Blade with not 4 dusks, it wouldn't work, but you'd want 4 yokes, and that would give you enough skill force, and you could use all your moves, and that'd be awesome, and it would be great. Like a yoke is, I don't know how much skill force, maybe 40, so 40 times 4, 120 skill force. You know, that's pretty average for early game. So that's great. You use your 4 yokes from bargains, use the Blue Moon Blade the game gives you, and you could just go through the game. Be very, very easy. Blistering Ice Waves will overpower everything, and it'll be awesome. So, you know, and for a lot of people, that's what they did. They had the Blue Moon Blade, just level 1, and they just went to town with it. Now, the point about the Blue Moon Blade is I'm not advertising it to be like this awesome best weapon ever. I'll admit it's a good weapon. It's actually, in a layman's term, it is a noob weapon. Now, that's not to say it's a bad weapon. It's to say if you're just starting out and you get your hands on this, you're going to cruise through the game no problem. And it's also cool. Like, it's from Cosmic League. It has a cool design. That's all that good stuff. And it actually lets people get a taste of the least played class, which is Odachi, and see if they like it. So that's fun. But there comes a point where the Blue Moon Blade, yes, it's like the best weapon. You're like, oh, this is awesome. This is my master sword. It will complete everything. Well, this tapers off right at Satan. The Blue Moon Blade is a crutch if used past Edo. That's this. Like, yes, you can carry new with it. You can. But honestly, if this is the only weapon you have and you're not building up extra weapons, like if you aren't building up Neo Excaliburs, then you're really gimping yourself as an Odachi player. The Neo Excalibur, the 105 weapon, has 44 holy on it, and that's phenomenal. It's a level 105 weapon. I remember back in the day, me and Lyra would do Satan, and he would actually put on some Ronins and Dusks or whatever, and he would take his Neo Excalibur, and we would just beat up Satan. He would go double Fierce Enma Slash, and he'd have like Tsubame Gashi and Holy Empty Sky Slash, and we would just go to work. And it was a great weapon. But a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of people, at least on PS4, this isn't a thing on Xbox yet, but a lot of people in PS4, they're like level 110, 115, and they still got this stupid weapon. Like, that would be like if I was still using Rose Maidens at level 110. Like, no, I had a Geno Buster. Like, yeah, I shouldn't have built it to 100, but I still had it. And then I got my Hio Tengu at 105. Like, and then at that point you get your Brigandia, you get your Air Cleaving Sword. It's a very, very, very easy weapon to get for Odachi. The 105, we build them to trade in. You get your recipe from Tengu, it's incredibly easy now. You get weapons from Kishinden, you build it up. Skyrending, or not Skyrending Sword, it's the Air Cleaving Sword. Great, awesome weapon. Use that, build up some more weapons, trade them in, get the 113 Skyrending Sword, like the best Odachi I've ever seen. It's great, but too many people are being overly reliant on the Blue Moon Blade. After 105, if you're still using this weapon, like it's your main weapon, like it can be your offhand weapon, but if you're refusing to build up other weapons and trying to just, you know, not cheese through the game, but like slink through the game, you know, like when you're in school and you don't try and they just push you through. That's like the Blue Moon Blade at some point. Like, yeah, that stuff's cool during, you know, elementary, middle school, but not in high school, not in university. That's like when you get to like college, you know, level 100, 105, whatever. You should be focusing on stuff. But the main point here is this weapon is becoming a crutch. And a lot of people are trying to get carried and then all this stuff, and they have their Blue Moon Blade, and it's just like, and there's actually a stereotype happening. I've seen it happen before where someone wanted to run Satan and all they had was a Blue Moon Blade, and this person I know straight up said, no, you're not joining my party because that's all you have. And they said, no, like, go get good. Come back later. You know, they said, go get a real weapon. And it's becoming a stigma if you use this thing. Hey, Gelscon, Gelson Croft. Oh, yeah, hey, bud. So you can run Infernal Guard. I mean, Blue Moon Blade's cool, but honestly, it's not Blue Moon Blade that's good, it's Blistering Ice Wave that's good. Blistering Ice Wave is OP as fuck. You know, it really is. Like, this is like the Oni dagger on, you know, steroids, if you want to say. So, you know, it doesn't really help. But really, like, you see it all the time. Like, you're in Oshu, and you see it. You see the people that are getting carried, like in the Oshu new runs. You know, 5 out of 10 of them have a Blue Moon Blade. I've seen some people who are like, oh, I'm a spear user, but I use a Blue Moon Blade because Blistering Ice Wave's really good. And they're sitting there with like 2 literatures and a yoke and a dusk or something, and they're splitting up their skill force, and it's not good. It's not. It's gross, actually. And then you have some people, you know, I don't know. I don't want to just rant about everyone, you know. Yeah, everyone got the Blue Moon Blade. Like, it's a great weapon for Resonance. If you manage to pick this up on all of your alternate characters, you can go through the game and get Resonance easy peasy. Cluster's doing it right now. You know. But there comes a point where it's like, there's what's that meme? It's time to stop. Like, if you're level 110, it's time to stop. If you're level 105, you know, it's time to get a Neo Excalibur. It's time to get an Air Cleaving Sword. If you're level 113, it's time to get a Skyrending Sword. If you're level 115, Get a rhyme, for the God's sake. Get a rhyme. Like, who is it? Tanking is like one of the only Odachi players we have. He's got his 3 Gargs. I've seen him. Cool. He's always playing with his. I heard it's his wife. I think it's really cute. Him and his wife playing all the time. Him and Starstreak. I think that's what I've heard. I could be wrong, but I see them all the time. It's awesome. And he's like Odachi. He's got his 3 Gargs. He's not using the Blue Moon Blade. He's like our one true Odachi player. Like, excuse me if I'm missing someone else, because I know there's Shinji and 2 other people, but lately he's the only guy I see. He's got his, his Rhyme, his Infernal, his Storm. Great guy. And, like, just for comparison, like, the Odachi Rhyme's going to be the same stat breakdown as my Rhyme. So, Ice Element, 60. That's all I had to say, and it gives you extra skill force. So this weapon, right, is at 115. I have, let me equip it here. I have 25,000 attack. So if I had more power and affinity and a Date Masamune title for the Blue Moon Blade, you might scratch 18,000. Like, if you had all your stats in the right thing in the right allocations specifically for this weapon, like I said earlier, yeah, you could probably break 18,000. Like, that's the attack threshold you receive with a 105 weapon. However, you gotta, like, you can't just use this. You need to actually build weapons up. And please don't smelt the Blue Moon Blade. That's a waste of like 9 artisans. It's a good novelty weapon. It's it's good early game, but do not smelt it. Don't do it. And lastly, like I said earlier, how if you put all your stats into power, vit, and dex just to get Blue Moon Blade, you have a horrible build. And the reason why you have a horrible build is because vitality should only ever be touched if you're a spear user. Vitality does not add extra attack, like, it adds a bit of defense, yes, but defense doesn't do a damn thing in this game. Like, 105 mags give more defense than putting points into anything. So, like, if you want the perfect Blue Moon Blade build, you'd go 100 power, 100 dex, and 100 mind if such a thing was possible. But, like, 100 power, 72 dex, and then 75 mind. But the reason why putting points into just power, vit, and dex is bad is because you have no mind. If you have no mind, you're dumb because it's mind, and you have no SP regen. I've seen a build, okay? I've seen someone with that build, just pure power, pure vit, pure dex, no mind investment. They had 800 SP. 800! Like, you couldn't even drink Feast and have SP to last you the entirety of Feast of the Damned. You'd just die. It wouldn't work. Like I don't know, but that's a bad build. Like, it's a bad precedent. The true use of Blue Moon Blade is to get through the story, get to Edo, make a 105 weapon, and go from there. I mean, Shadow, it's fine to stay with Sword. I'll tell you that right now. Because later, Sword overpowers Axe, because the slice element given from Fated Contractor and the Miyamoto accessories, and the Miyamoto accessories will make you really powerful, because they will give you 100% affinity if you have 2 of them. They'll give you 20 extra slice and 30% attack. Sword's gonna be amazing. So, but that's just something I wanted to talk about. A lot of us, when I say us, I mean me and my friends, us 120, 118s and all that stuff. We see people like not tapping into their true potential because they're still stuck on this crutch that's the Blue Moon Blade. I'm actually starting a thing which is really funny, where since I only use one weapon to fight Mephistopheles, I use my staff and my Nova, that's it, and occasionally my Rhyme. I unequip my L to put on the Blue Moon Blade, like my weapons are right now. And when I come out of Mephistopheles, I'm holding the Blue Moon Blade, and I'm trying to get all my friends to do it, because it's just like, if someone doesn't know what we're doing, they're standing outside Mephi, they see like a group of 5 120s come out with Blue Moon Blades, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? The fuck are they doing? Does that work? I know he's neutral to ice, but what the fuck? How is this possible? And it's just like trying to freak people out, because it's almost like its own meme now. Like, it's like, oh, we have a Blue Moon Blader, you know. It's cool, like, use it to get through the story, that's fine. But, you know, there comes a time when, you know, you gotta take the training wheels off and you gotta ride the bike on your own. I mean, it's a great weapon to go through the game with, because all the lucky boxes you get will give you a bandit, will give you your buttons and artisan swords. Perfect for your next weapons and all that stuff. You need your 105, then take it from there. I recommend the Severance, depending on your class. Oh my god, you're terrible. Severance is okay, but I only built it to build L. I built it like that night. Like when I got the L recipe with the Fallen Cross, I just need my recipe. I had my cross ready, and then I built the Severance, and then I built the Brigandia, all in one night, and I never held a Severance or a Brigandia as a weapon. I hate Brigandia. And then I built the L. So, but yeah. But that's all I really wanted to say, is that, you know, we had to point out the elephant in the room. Blue Moon Blade is a crutch after 105. Use it to get your 105 mags. Use it to get 105 weapons. Use it to get your air cleaving sword. All that stuff. But after Oshu, not even after Oshu, if you can beat... Now, I've had to carry a lot of people in Oshu Highway to get through the 4 dungeons there. And some of them have Blue Moon Blade. But if you can use the Blue Moon Blade to get past Oshu, and get past the islands, and get past the moon, and get past Mephistopheles, be my guest. By all means, if you're that good at this game, go for it. Like, no Vanguard, just this friggin' weapon. If it can take you through Tanegashima, Oshu, all that stuff, goddamn. SK Freeze, no, it is no longer possible to get the Blue Moon Blade. You can't get it anymore. It was event only during the Lunar Tail Part 1 update. Eventually, Lunastasia will come back as Red Moon, and she might give us the Blue Moon Blade Red Moon. If you're on PC, you can use medals from Oni difficulty to craft the Blue Moon Blade, but it's not recommended. It's cool if you missed out on it, but it's at this point, it's just a novelty weapon. Just like how the Oni dagger is, or there's no other weapons like that. But it's like an event weapon. It's just cool. So that's gonna do it for this pro tip. Hope you guys, you know, enjoyed it. I know a lot of people really hate on Blue Moon Blades lately, or users of it, because they're gipping themselves, they're using it as a crutch and all that stuff. And then some people are just like, no, don't touch my Blue Moon Blade. I love it. You know, it is what it is. But I just want to encourage people to get good, you know. You know, if you rely on this weapon, you're not tapping into your full potential. You know, there's a natural progression. Like, I'm all for people skipping building stuff from Onigashima to Echigo. Like, I don't want to see people building up Echigo weapons and going through that struggle. Like, the only weapons I want to see people build up are 105s, and then using 105s to get their Gargoyle weapons and stuff. And 105 mags. So that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. 50 pro tips so far. More pro tips to come in the future for sure. Don't think we're out of ideas yet. And I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.